there, and you take it such a big risk. It is going to be they choose first pick, and Miracle will take Infernal Shrines. I mentioned we're going to see this map no matter what. It was a given. So this is a map where you can just draft super safe, and I think Ballistix needs to do that.
This is where they can have a few more picks like Junkrat in the draft. Game 2 and also 1, it feels like they're thinking about too many things, trying to catch multiple birds with one stone. And then if you just have too many things going on at the same time, you just need to clean up. Okay, this shows a lot about Ballistix. Even if they go to BlizzCon, this Garrosh pick will hurt them. And they actually may not go to BlizzCon because of this too.
Yeah, there's a...
But good solid bans.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of time for them to prepare either. You know, what we see here is not going to be that different from what we see at BlizzCon. There's not going to be any new available heroes. No heroes have been announced.
The new minions are coming.
Yeah, those minions look pretty cool.
Yes,
but like,
new skins, like 500 gems each.
Is that real? Like, no. I was like, I saw the teaser, but I didn't know if that was real.
Well, the new heroes spitting out Mountain Dew and Welches, I think.
Okay, look at this.
Yeah.
A Hooligan was like actually kind of the OG Diablo, but you're very right in that after everyone learned it, he kind of stopped playing it.
Yes.
But he is very good at Diablo. And this already shows that Ballistix is like fed up with dealing with Judy's tank pool. Judy will probably pick Garrosh here. Otherwise, he'll be banned in the second phase. Okay, it's actually going to be a new Barok. That is a bit of a surprise.
Concerned about... Without Garrosh, those are the top 3 tiers, especially in Korea right now. Nubrok, Diablo, Garrosh. And you're scared about the bans coming later. So rather than having some other lower tier things, you might have just grab it right now. And they also get Genji, so they're not really losing too hard.
But it's Genji versus Diablo, and Diablo does kind of point-click his way to a Genji who can't do much, can't be very high impact. And Whitemane, very difficult to kill via dive because she can just self-heal. Sure, she'll lose a ton of mana doing so, but Genji's eventually going to pay for his crimes if he tries to dive the backline and kill Whitemane in the early game. I like the Blaze ban. That's very smart. But I wonder what pairs with Genji and Nubrok here. Maybe something like a Jaina, some sort of consistent burst damage. Maybe a Li Ming. But Li Ming's not great on this map. Alex Strasza is a good pick for this sort of dive style. So we may see that. But they don't have good shrine clear. If they pick something like Alex Strasza Sonya, I could get behind that. And this was the map where Nacho did play the Sonya and revolutionized Korea for about 2 weeks on this map. It'll be Leoric instead, though. Similar idea with this one.
And Flex for last can just be a Tychus. Or for some percent damage. I think that's why the Martial ban really came in. Against Diablo, it has been a power pick since Eastern Clash, or even before that. Can be Tychus if they just want poke damage for Genji kills. Riptire with Junkrat, I think, is just a fine pick as well.
Well, Urel's going to be the top lane matchup, and then Tychus comes through. About as vanilla of a draft as you can get. The only person who takes a risk with this draft in terms of hero pools is Hooligan, but we know that, again, he used to really favor the Diablo pick, so this is the exact draft I want to see from Ballistix. Something that just is a callback to safe, standard, predictable. Doesn't matter how predictable it is. It needs to be your 5 players playing their best heroes, and that's exactly what this draft says.
And they don't have the bunker, but they got Irel for peeling and Tychus. So Odin's going to bring a lot of damage into it. Shima the brother comp from Miracle. That's a scary one to go into. Against the Diablo, post 16 they have a lot of chances, but let's see how well can Irel actually peel away from that Genji. Genji's going to be the main focus, of course.
Yep. Controversial opinion, G-Clef, but I don't think Genji is the strongest hero in the game if he doesn't have a comp that backs him up. And I don't know if this comp allows Frankel to really carry. He can be very difficult to kill, and he can put off a lot of consistent damage that way.
Yes.
But the fact that there's a Diablo on the other side, Urel, as well as even Tychus, who actually does quite well against Genji because he obviously locks onto him. this is a draft where I finally favor Ballistix. Of the first 3 we've seen, this is the one that I really feel like they super won. Like, they got everything they wanted. But it's going to be very difficult to win the objectives. Because you have Alexstrasza and you have Leoric. So that's where Miracle can really start to win this game, is through Immortal pushes.
Yeah, but that's basically it. Ballistix, they have a lot of constant damage. With auto attacks, they can focus on one with minigun that's going to burst them down. It doesn't really pair up perfectly because they don't have a mage and they have a Diablo, which would prefer to have the burst down with the with a Tyrande, but no, Tyrande was banned, of course. Let's see how well Hooligan plays with the teamwork here.
Well, doesn't look like Judy can really engage on this. They're just going to play passive against Diablo, which is exactly what you have to do. So well played here by Miracle. They lose like 1/12 of their gate from this play, but it's super insignificant compared to losing a member in that level 1 fight. Okay, Judy here gonna have to be forced to leave. But they're basically just respecting the Diablo, knowing that as long as they stay even in the early game, the first objective is gonna be an advantageous position for them. First shrine.
As long as Judy does not borrow charge in and just makes a safe exit after some CC, we'll be just okay. And Miracle will be smiling because they have the pokes from Hanzo, Genji to harass even more after when the CC is out. Ballistix, they can't really do the same because they're not the Shimada brothers, they're the Terran brothers, and they got no escapes.
Okay, Hooligan is going to do something similar to what we saw from Judy last game, where you kind of invade because there's not a ton of CC. There's more on the side of Miracle, but Judy is actually the focused target here. Does pop his shield as the Alexstrasza heals coming through now. Nice position here, but Nitrogen is too late, and they will get the invade successfully here. Look at Frankel. He actually is unable to really find any openings here. It's almost as if he was the one who was under threat, not the opposite way around. They're going to be able to get the neutral camp from this too. At least Nitrogen's in the top lane, pushing that out, but Ballistix takes a nice, crafty lead here. I mean, I don't know if it was really crafty. It was pretty blunt, what they did, but Miracle just didn't have the answer.
It was a good idea to invade. Actually, I think they were trying to force out the really early Dragon Queen to put that on cooldown and just back it out.
That would have been
actually
massive.
they held it off really well. Blue Beetle just understanding what Ballistix wants to do and not giving it up. I think that was a cool move.
Yeah, that's absolutely critical because that's what their whole draft is about here. SC require these Magi heals. He's going to be totally fine. He's got his level 4, so since it's going to end up being a pretty similar camp timing, Miracle stays even in experience. Judy taking the safe route up. Always follow Judy's example. If you look at the minimap, the Nubarak player Judy's who we're talking about, never go through the mid, always go through the team side. Nitrogen takes control of this first, gets that double swing there. The auto attack reset to get 4. It's going to eat a lot of damage, but he's Leoric, so he feels pretty good about this. If they can get up to about 20 here, then the Dragon Queen kind of guarantees you the objective. They've lost control, though, of the shrine itself. Now Judy's caught. He's not the one who wants to be out there.
They're focusing the damage really well. Blue Beetle can heal. As long as he's healthy, he can provide a lot more Q healing.
Okay, Nitrogen's going to contest. They're probably going to have to pop Dragon Queen here very shortly. Here it is. Blue Beetle putting off this heal, and now you can see Ballistix is trying to wait it out, kite back. Miracle will catch up in defenders during this moment, but as long as Ballistix doesn't lose anybody here, they can re-engage when the Dragon Queen is on cooldown.
Not a bad timing because they can force themselves out of the zone. Judy's okay, Judy can just throw a charge out.
Yeah, Nitrogen missed his W.
Can die and still get the Punisher, so it's okay as long as they get the kill, focusing on the Genji.
Hey, Frankel, nice deflect here. Actually,
3 more.
Yeah, 3 more. Judy's going in. He gets that last one there, but he's going to die for it. But I don't know if they actually get this. I don't think they do. Frankel's going in. Okay, there you go. He gets 1 more. Well, 1 was stolen. I don't know.
Get 1 more, but they're...
Okay, Nitrogen respawns. He's going to get in there. They do get it, but at the cost of 3 members.
Not worth is what we get at the end.
And they almost didn't get it. They almost did not get that. Ooh,
Sniper also almost died while
So-
getting out there.
Nitrogen missed his Drain Hope. That was actually the big moment because he actually couldn't live after that. And he couldn't heal for Judy, who was also insanely low. So, you know, that was actually a pretty big moment there. And Miracle, had they been able to keep him alive, and if Lyric lives a little bit longer, then they finish it faster. And then Ballistix has to leave, and Miracle can make a push happen. But, I mean, this could be much worse. I see a similar invade.
Oh, no Dragon Queen in this team fight, so they go for an invade once again. Steals the camp. They have a lead.
They're going to actually use this camp to get the healing well, too. That's very important. The next shrine will be mid, where that healing fountain no longer
exists. When you have an
exists.
Alex Raza, when you pop that Dragon Queen, you're leading in 10+ number. You spend that much resource, it feels like you just have to, even though it costs a lot more, it feels like you just have to go in and get that number, you know? And sometimes in a match, we all have those matches when you're stuck on 37 or 38. Your teammate just throws after one another. You don't even get the Punisher, that's the worst thing.
I think the deaths are okay when they get it, but like they should have realized beforehand that they weren't going to be able to get it. Not lost to anybody, and then just dealt with the Punisher well. Ballistix doesn't have a ton of poke damage. They have Rainer, but I don't know. It's something that we'd have to like look back at the review to say was the worst thing ever. Another missed grab here by Nitrogen. Those are gonna start to add up. So Miracle is just trying to stay even. The next shrine. They actually had a bad positional disadvantage starting that shrine off. If it were mid, I think they would have had a much better opportunity, but they had to go all the way top. Ballistix was there first. In terms of level 10s, I actually kind of think that Ballistix gets the better end of it too.
I think it depends. If the Entomb traps Tychus or Rainer, if they can focus on both, or even Magi. They have a lot of. They actually have a lot of targets who they can focus in Entomb, but they have to hit that level 10 first. Ballistix pushing out.
The Cocoon very likely be used either on Diablo or White Mane. If you can prevent the Scarlet Aegis from going off, I think that's Miracle's best chance of getting an initial kill with something like the Dragon's Arrow into X-Strike. It's actually going to be Dragon Blade, which is quite interesting. That is very difficult to pull off against a Diablo who's just going to constantly lock you down.
Yeah, Nitrogen has a big pressure. Dragon Blade.
Yeah, that is real risky, man. I don't know if I agree with that.
At least he will. There's no Divine Shield in this game, but with that Cleansing Flame, he will at least be getting some heals, and that's basically instant healing.
But who's he gonna kill?
Rainer, White Mane. And it's gonna be a lot less burst. Let's see. As Nitrogen gets focused down, he's looking for that Entomb angle. It can't be too low.
Okay, look at Judy. He's trying to set it up. Magi he misses Magi. Magi gets away. Now Judy's not where he wants to be. He has to drop down the Cocoon, but the Lightning Breath not only immediately eliminates the Cocoon, but burns Judy down with him. The Dragon Queen completely worthless here now. Sure, they get up to 26, but there's no way they get the last 13 now. Where's the Dragon Blade? Oh, is it even relevant here? Does it even matter? I don't think so. Okay, look for Magi with the blade, but the Scarlet Aegis is going to keep everybody alive. Frankel has to get out of here. Everyone gets low, but where's the finishing blow? It's not here. And this is again going to be Ballistix just absolutely crushing the fight. All off of a failed burrow charge in from Judy.
Okay, weird calls happening from Miracle right now. When they already lost the fight, they can just lose the Punisher and back up. Because they have such high numbers, I think they just wanted to have a few more picked up and maybe go for the Punisher if the situation becomes better for them. But with that Aegis, they were never going to get a kill.
I just don't think Dragon Blade is going to get ever any kills. Like, ever, never against this. The Aegis is such a good counter to that. And you've got White Mane healing. If White Mane is not dying to the... You know, if she's not the one who's dying to the Dragon Blade, then who is? Okay, now this is just a disaster. Sniper's dead, and that means this could actually end up being a full keep wall, maybe more.
So now Miracle, they just changed their game plan. Let's just go for 20. We need that silence. We need Bird alive from Leoric catching at least a few of the members, especially Magi in that Entomb. then they can have a lot of chance with that Dragon Blade. They can have some consistent burst damage along with Hanzo, but they gotta live until that 20, not try to lose any keeps for that time being.
Nitrogen has to get in position to use that Entomb. Well, first things first, they gotta get to 20. And I'm not even convinced yet that that's possible because of how bad these objective fights have been going. But if he gets to 20, he has to then get into position. He and Judy are trying to work together to kill that backline. If they can kill Whitemane, that sustainability is gone. Then the Dragon Blade becomes great. And you can see how low everyone got before the Aegis was popped. But then the Aegis comes up and you're like, well, you know, how does that, how do you move on from there? I mean, you leave. You give them the Immortal, or rather the Punisher, and we see it as a similar fight. So Miracle just needs to be careful not to lose anyone on the map and just maintain Soak. The next objective fight, they'll have the same talent tier, and they'll have a healing well in top this time, which they did not have previously. So they have these small things.
So as an Anub'arak against the Diablo, because Diablo becomes unstoppable, he will actually have very early Lightning Breath. And you can't really cocoon Diablo starting from that moment. He can actually eat that cocoon with that unstoppable Lightning Breath too. So we're going to see early Lightning Breath plus early cocoons. And if that happens, Lightning Breath can just break the cocoon just like what we saw early on.
That cocoon was just desperation. And Judy thought it was going to help him survive.
So it's basically, most of the times, early match winning for Diablo. So there needs to be like really good cocoon happening all the time from Judy. There was only one so far. Let's see which target he chooses to do next time.
Really good patience here from Miracle. It's exactly what they need to do. Soak the lanes. Allow top to push. If the whole team of Ballistix is going to be there, just avoid them. Avoid the Diablo. Look for that fight on even talent tier, if they can get it. Shrine's not up yet, so they might not actually get it. Announcement should be soon. But 16 will be against them. They have to accept that now. They're just making sure they don't get picked. Okay, this is a bit greedy. And they didn't even have vision that this is being taken, so this is a big risk. The other thing about this push and bot is that now they're not going to have positional advantage on the Shrine. Well,
oh, they have more than enough time to rotate all three.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be able to control this rotation.
It takes about 17, 16 seconds if you go straight to the center.
I think they're just gonna give this G buff. They have a fort, but
yeah, not a bad choice, I would say.
When you're running this comp and you're giving up Shrine fights,
yeah, when you actually have your bottom forts, and there's a massive push with the camp, and maybe with the Punisher coming from top, but creating some push into the opposite side of the map is actually not too bad when you don't have 16. That's possibly the best choice of action you can actually do at the moment as Miracle.
Problem is, as soon as Ballistix sees this, which they telegraph this so much, then you just lose everything. Like, look at the top push. Shaman Camp's pushing. It's a solo Shrine. Tomb and Tempt here fails. Solo Shrine. Soak in all three lanes for Ballistix. In fact, now they're just going to prep this and try to look for a keep. They're rotating everyone top. When you have Dragon Queen, you have a comp that's designed to win Shrine fights. That's why you picked it, and it has no other strengths. If you can't even be willing to take that fight, I don't know if you're ever going to get to 20. It's lose-lose. I mean, I don't disagree with you in that way, but it's just a bigger scope of the situation we're in this game for Miracle.
Okay, now Genji post-16, Hanzo post-16. They have a lot of siege damage with Hanzo Scatter, plus at least they have same talents. Now they can try to contest with how far Sniper is actually. He wants to burn that Punisher down.
Okay, he does get the stun. Okay, that's going to be the end of Nitrogen. Aegis is up early. Dragon Blade is still available, but nobody's low. So I don't think he's really going to be able to do too much with that. Judy needs to get back. Does.
Not a bad cocoon, but the Punisher is helping so much for Ballistix.
Yeah, the arrow has already been used too, so Lightning Breath is bleeding through everybody. Frankel's looking for that flanking Dragon's Arrow. He's got the heals. He's actually dodging the Cleansing Flames. He's got to get out of there. This keep is going to go down, but they make it the core with it if Judy dies. He does get away, but unfortunately, that is not going to be the case for his teammate there. That's the end of Sniper. The Entomb comes up.
The armor from Miracle is keeping them safe. Hooligan dives in, but he's a Diablo. He survives a long time. There's a Hyperion. They're going for the core. They're trying.
They Hyperion expires. The core is just now losing its shields. But everyone's so healthy. I don't know if Franco's
Dragon Blade.
Here it comes.
Dragon Blade comes in, but he's CC'd, protected, barely gets away.
That's what I'm talking about. You pull that blade and
He
Diablo
does
just says, so what, man? Cocoon is out, but this core is starting to take too much damage. Okay, SDE still alive here. Nitrogen is getting bled down after he respawned here. He does get into the Hall of Storms. The core's on attack. There's another arrow, though. This could be how they defend this. Huge stun from Judy. And Ballistix, they're desperate here. They're using the Urgent Defender to keep Junga alive, but he's almost out of mana. Hooligan stun. There's not enough damage here. And they are actually going to hold this. They hold it.
Patience was the key for Miracle, even after losing Sniper's Hanzo. Came back, got the big arrow onto everyone. Nicely defended. Now
Ballistix just started clumping. You know, they started off that push split so that an arrow couldn't stun them like that. And then at the end, I think they just thought, okay, we got this. Let's just clump up and finish the core. The arrow connected with everybody. They also took a ton of damage from the first two swings of the Dragon's Blade because of that. But it looks like Miracle will look for a counter keep here while soaking for 20. They may get 20 first. They may get that Entomb.
They just want to move the turrets and get that 20 first. They can't really go into the keep at all.
At least not without Leoric here. And he's just going to try to get the 20 that may put them back into this game. I mean, I was pretty confident they were never going to see 20, but with a failed core call, it's always possible. Everyone starts Hearths because they didn't have vision of any of the other members. Did not want to get backdoored.
It was a tough call for Ballistix too. It seems like with Maxed Out Souls Diablo, and with all the poke damage when it's 4v5, but with the level of difference, it seems possible at the moment. But once the extra wave of minion comes out for a Miracle, the core is always doing damage to you, and when they don't really lose any more members, that was a real problem. Even though Franco couldn't really do too much with the team comp of Ballistix, what they made in the draft, that was not scary before 20. Now, post 20, never-ending Dragon Blade.
Yeah, and the silencing Entomb. Not to mention potentially Bullseye, but I think more likely play of the game. Because when you have to deal with this catapult pressure, play of the game becomes so valuable.
Yeah, as a semi-global also, you need that extra CC. When you want to trap everyone into that Entomb.
He's going to wait for the perfect moment to lock it in, but this is... Ballistix could certainly lose this game if this fight goes poorly.
Judy's in the left. Rainer does not know as he's in a bad position right now.
Hey, look at this. Nitrogen setting up. Second Wraith Walk here. Entomb gets the silence on jungle, but it's not the greatest. And look at all the damage coming out from Diablo. Cleansing Flame here, going to be utilized to try to keep everybody alive. Scarlet Aegis is up. Magi very low, however. Franco gets interrupted. Is looking for the kill to Magi, but Magi lives! Magi's living through everything here!
White Maid
does finally go down. Dragon Queen about to expire. Franco's still alive with that endless Dragon Blade, but it doesn't matter. Ballistix is going to win this fight. White Maid, too good, too tough to kill. And it's a choose-your-own-adventure ending here for Ballistix. They can just walk to the core. They could get the Punisher. It doesn't matter. Their choice. They're going to take the fastest possible win and walk directly to the core. So difficult to use Genji. This is why I said from the beginning of the draft, I really feel Genji is not an S-tier hero. When you look at these two drafts, I think Genji is, of these 10 heroes, the least impactful. And Miracle will lose game number 3. Ballistix 1 win away from the 3rd straight BlizzCon.
Rainer was in that cocoon for